everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna bother me. A lot's gonna bother me, including my unmade bed, but like 2 of my cats are all snuggled up and like I can't ruin that for them. Ever since I first came out on Instagram early 2020, it might have been January or something like that, I don't quite remember, I got a lot of DMs, people just asking me questions. How did I know? What was my experience with coming out? What was my experience growing up? How did I know I was gay? That kind of stuff. That is what we're gonna talk about today. So I'm the kind of person where I like to put myself in a box. And once I'm in that box, this is of course metaphorical, I don't want to step out of it. I don't want to do anything that doesn't fit within that box. And I started doing that. I started doing that when I was very young. And what I mean by that is anything that goes outside of what I feel comfortable with as part of my identity is something I don't want to associate with. I came out late in my life. Not like the latest, but like I definitely could have come out earlier. So when I was younger, I always had these crushes on women, but I also had crushes on men. But because it was less normalized to have crushes on women as a woman, or a young girl, it was just not something that I followed. It wasn't like a thought process that I kept on following. It was just like, oh, it came and it went. And because having a girl crush when you're younger is very much normalized, right? Like that's how we say it. We brush it off as like, oh, it's a girl crush. I brushed it off in my mind and I was always like, it's just a girl crush. And like everyone has those, right? To this degree, right? And it's interesting because I remember growing up and I think it was like my teenage years in high school I started saying this, but I didn't realize what it was when I was younger, was I don't know if like I want to be her friend, if I want to like be her because I'm like jealous of her, or if I like want to be with her. Like I don't understand the feelings that I'm feeling. But I would always just sort of laugh it off because I really genuinely didn't understand what I was feeling. I remember having crushes on like my sister's friends when I was younger, but she's older than me and I just never knew, is it because they're cool and they're older and they're like in high school and I'm like not yet? Like I just didn't know what it was. I started getting older. When I started getting older and I got into high school, I started seeing some of the people that I knew coming out as bisexual or coming out as lesbian or coming out as gay. And I just remember wanting to be near those people for whatever reason. And I think that reason was because I always just wanted to know, like, what are you feeling? Am I feeling that, right? If you say that you are into women and you're a woman, I want to know, is what you're thinking what I'm thinking? Because maybe that means that I am too. There was a weird comfort in just being near. I had found myself in a very serious relationship at the end of high school, beginning of college, and that relationship lasted long distance 1 year, so a total of 6 years, and I thought this was like my forever person. Mostly because we had spent so much time together, and so you kind of feel like, well, if you're spending 4, 5, 6 years with somebody, that's probably your forever person. And I just remember that throughout a good portion of that relationship, there would be kind of like comments back and forth of like, are you sure you're not married? And I'd be like, yeah. I remember one time I even got upset because I was like, I think I had opened up in confidence about like potentially being attracted to women, but never actually acting on it. And I remember he had made a snide comment one time and I just was like, whoa, I told you that in confidence. I put that concept to bed and it never came out again. Came out. No pun intended. So once that relationship ended, I really started thinking more about this. And I started opening up to my best friend. And I was like, maybe, I don't know though, like could I become physical with a woman? Like I just don't know. But then I remembered I was following this girl on YouTube for a while, I was subscribed to her for a while, and she had came out as bisexual, but she also had said that she had never been in a relationship before. And I started thinking to myself, you don't always have to be physical with somebody or have a successful relationship with somebody to know that you are gay. And I thought, so maybe I just need to get out of my own head. I started switching my dating profiles from seeking men to seeking women. And like even that, my heart was like racing, right? But I'm like, if I'm questioning it, then there's something to that at least. And I never matched with anybody because I intentionally was like, nope, I am just here to look. I am not brave enough because I just don't even like, does this fit in with who I am? I don't know. The answer is like, you do what feels right. But I didn't know that at the time. But I was just trying to figure out, does this feel right? You know, my best friend and I would kind of like look at the women on dating apps together, and I think she was trying to be supportive and be the person who is like, regardless of who you are attracted to, I'm your best friend and I'm just gonna root for you. Like, that's just my job. So then I was getting to this place where I was moving out of Washington to Arizona. I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna do something for me that I wanna do, and I'm getting out of this gray, dark, cold, rainy state, and I'm gonna move to a sunshine state that's also more affordable. It's also getting more expensive. Please stop moving here, myself included. I landed a job at a charter school, and moving to Arizona made me feel like there were just less restrictions on who I was. It's interesting because I grew up in Washington, I felt very confined. And again, there was this box that I built myself, I built around myself, that I wasn't wanting to step out of. And because I moved away, it was sort of like, you know, everyone says like, this is your chance to start over and have a new identity. It wasn't necessarily that, but it was more about the freedom. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but basically I felt like I wouldn't be judged so hard because I'm like far away. And I can open up with whoever I want to about, you know, if I'm dating women or not. And I do remember that one of the things I was afraid of after I moved and after I started like getting feelings for a woman was people thinking that it was a phase. That's always what people say. People were like, oh, she just moved, like it's a phase. And I'm like, okay, sure. If that helps you, sure. I don't know how many people, whatever. So then I started seeing one of the teachers that worked there. I use teacher loosely. It was more like mentor-y, teacher-y person for the students. But regardless, there was a woman there who I started hanging out with, and I felt like I wanted to be near her. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to open up to her. I wanted to kiss her. Like I wanted to be vulnerable with this person. And I found myself in a situation where I was 1,000 times more confident dating, and I'm also using dating kind of loosely, a woman than with a man. And so that was really interesting for me. Not that I'm saying like I know what category I fit into and that I'm this person and I don't ever talk to men, like I'm just full on lesbian. I don't know. And I'm fine with not knowing. I think that categories are, that category would not be for me, it would be for other people. That like situationship started and ended kind of, it was, yeah, anyway. When that ended, I was like, does that mean I'm not gay because it wasn't successful? Like so you start to, you know, I started thinking all of these things, which I think are just natural things to think. Then I met another girl that I had, and it was like kind of a little long distance thing for a second. That came and went, and then I knew at that time, like this, whatever is happening, it's definitely something I want to explore, and I'm not going to stop exploring it. And I was really excited about being able to come out. I came out to my mom like right away. I had told her, and she made a really funny joke to me that I will not repeat here. But my mom and I are very close, and my mom was like, I want what you want. I want happiness, and if however you are gonna find that, that is what I want for you. My sister was like, I knew it. She did. She knew it. I mean, there were times where like we'd go to a restaurant and like a girl would sit us down, and I would look at my sister, and I would look down at my menu, and I'm like. And my sister's like, you don't think you are, but I think you are. My dad's reaction, I was really nervous to tell my dad because knowing someone's particular background, and you just get, you clam up a little. But my dad, he didn't even let me finish my sentence. He was like, you know, if you say you want to date men and you want to date women, like I just care that you're happy. So you're my daughter and I'm gonna love you regardless. And I was like, great, I'm gonna go cry now. And I had like such an amazing experience with my family that I recognize is a privilege, and not everybody has that experience at all. This was then my very first year at the school that I'm at right now. And then I started dating my future wife. There's no ring. I'm just gonna marry her. I just know I am. We will tell that story one day. I'll get her on camera. We'll talk about it. But I just remember when I met her, I was like, I'm gonna marry her. And allowing myself to really step outside of this box that I made for myself and allow myself to feel what I was feeling and think what I wanted to think, and just give myself the room to do that and like be okay and pat on the back to move forward with that, means it led me to my forever person. I'm grateful that I was able to be strong enough to do that, because I had an amazing support system. My best friend, my family, my other friends, like everybody was so supportive. Nobody like dances around it. Like no one's like, you know, I don't want to do this because like, you know, you're gay now. Like no one is like that with me. And I am so lucky. And that's not to say that that won't ever happen, but I have an experience that a lot of people do not have, and I am so grateful for that, and I will never take advantage of that in a negative way. It took me until I was 26 years old to come out. And once I was out, I just wanted to I wanted it everywhere. My mom sent me a flag, like a pride flag. It was actually like a wrap for the beach, but regardless, I put it in my classroom as a pride flag. She wrote a little note with it, and so I put it on there, and the kids were like, oh my god, that's from your mom, that's so cute, oh my god, you're the best mom ever. And I'm like, I kind of do. And that's why, like, you know, I'm like the best classroom mom ever. That is my story of coming out. I didn't want to get too detailed for the respect of my partner, because I don't want to, you know, talk about other people in a way that's inappropriate to my relationship. But I will say that I'm grateful for every experience, because it led me to where I'm supposed to be right now. I also want to say at the very end of this video, I just want to say thank you to those of you who have been really supportive of me coming back to YouTube. The first video I posted coming back to YouTube, I was overwhelmed by the amount of positivity in the comments. I have always said that if I come back to YouTube, I will never be afraid of the comment section, because I know that we have all built such a great community on my channel, and I'm forever thankful for that. Of course, there's a little bit of negativity here and there, but like everyone has an opinion, and like that's okay. And I love you guys so much, and I don't even know how to end this, because I just want you to know how grateful I am and appreciative. And I learn things from you guys in the comment section all the time. And anyway, so thank you so much. I'm gonna continue vlogging the rest of my day, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you, even if you don't love me back. Bye guys. I just realized I have this rat's tail. We're gonna have to just swirl it up. Coming out.